All right, so I think we're kind of naturally inclined to speak positively about the things that we are doing, especially when we just get started in a business, say, for example. We talk very positively about that business. We highlight the good parts of the business. But really, in truth, we really haven't seen it just yet. We don't know the details about the business. We are just seeing the business from the surface. So we speak in glowing terms about whatever it is that we're doing. But I'm the type of person, I want to know about the bad, because everybody talks about the good, but I want to know about the bad part about it. Because let's just face it, there are bad parts about anything that we do. And to think that when you go into business, things are just going to be clear blue in 22, I'm having such a passion and a love for what I'm doing that I'm never going to dislike anything about it, I think is kind of far-fetched. I think that there are going to be times where you dislike some things about the business that you're in. Even if you have a passion, even if you have a love for it, there are some things that you dislike. Just like when you get ready to go to work on Monday or Tuesday. You may not be looking forward to go to work on Monday and Tuesday, but you still, of course, go. That's the same way in business. Sometimes people look at business like, when I get out of bed, I just can't wait to get out of bed every single day. But the real truth of the matter is, just like on a job you don't want to go sometimes, it's the same way in business. There are challenges in business that, sometimes you don't want to meet every single day. That's just the way it goes, I think. So in this video today, I'm going to share with you my number one dislike about the freight broker business. As a matter of fact, we're going to call it the number one thing that I hate about the freight broker business. So come on inside, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Now let's get into the business. So if you've been to a game before, or you've watched a game on television, it's very likely you've seen this scenario play out. You got two teams, and they rush onto the court or to the field. They got a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, a lot of motivation around what it is that they're doing. They're talking a whole lot of psyched up talk. We're going to win tonight. There's nobody that's going to defeat us. It's our night tonight. And then they go out on the field or the court, and they get destroyed. They get mollywopped. They get scrubbed, as we call it. Now, why did that happen? Well, for any of a number of reasons that could have happened. Maybe the other team is just more talented. But I see this scenario play out every single day in the world of business. We talk a lot of the good talk. We talk a lot of the positive talk. But when it comes down to executing, we fail to execute. One of the reasons why we fail to execute is because we fail to deal with the thing that is causing us issues, causing us strife. That thing that we know inside is a real problem, but we're glossing it over, talking it around it because we're just trying to have all of this positive energy. It's good to have positive energy. You should have positive energy because you're going to meet a lot of adversity and you're going to need that energy to overcome it. But don't fool yourself. You have to identify the thing that could cause you to go off track. And a lot of times we don't do that. We won't say, hey, this thing is really causing a problem right here. This is something that I have to deal with, or I'm going to have some serious problems. I believe that we have to identify that thing so that we can see it and then we can deal with it. If we never identify it, then it's going to be something that's in the background, always causing problems, and it could cause our business to go off track and inevitably cause our businesses to fail. So let's identify that thing and call it out, call it what it is so that we can see it and deal with it. So what I dislike about the freight broker business, the thing that I hate the most, that one thing that I had to deal with, that I had to address in order to be successful, is that it never stops. It's always constant. Let me tell you what I mean about that. This month is May. And you look at this month and you say, man, things have really gone well this month in May. And it's at the end of the month now. And you pat yourself on the back, you go out and you say, man, oh man, it's a great month. But here's the thing. May take care of May, and that's it. It doesn't take care of June. It doesn't take care of July. So you don't have time to say, hey man, what a great job I did. Or you have a very small amount of time, I should say, to enjoy your accomplishments for that month. And then here comes June and you're right back into the business. It's a constant thing. It never stops. And if you're type of the person that says, hey man, I need some time to sit back and relax after I've done great, you can do that. But do that knowing that you could be sacrificing all of the progress that you've been making, because you got to keep going. You don't have a whole lot of time to sit down and pat yourself on the back, especially not in the early stages. You have to be working constantly to move your business forward. And that's the thing that I really have a dislike for, is to have to keep going with the same amount of energy, the same amount of effort all the time. That can get tiring. That can get you to what we refer to as burnout. So we have to know how to manage that thing and call it out and have a plan in order to deal with it. I think there's a saying that says, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. That's just how that goes. So we want to have a plan in order to deal with these issues, especially the issues that we have said is a serious problem or could cause serious problems. And the most serious issue for me was realizing that although the freight broker business is nonstop, it's constant, I'm not nonstop. I'm not constant. In order for me to be at my best, to have the mental strength, the mental wherewithal to do this business to the best of my ability, I had to realize that and press the brakes. Had to say, I cannot be all things to all people. I have to pace myself. And it's important to learn how to pace yourself so that you don't put your mental health at risk and your physical health at risk, because that's what ends up happening when we're constantly going the pressure of a business every single day. It starts to work on your mental health, starts to work on your physical health. So we don't want to, sacrifice our health for the business. We want to be in good health so that we can operate the business in the most efficient manner. The way to do that is to plan around these issues, making sure that you have a solid plan to deal with the problems that you have. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. You can have all of the money in the world, have the best business in the world, but if you're not here to enjoy it, if you're not healthy to enjoy it, if you're not mentally aware and can enjoy it, then what's the use? It's no good to you. So we want to make sure that we're able to enjoy the business that we build, and we have to, I believe, pace ourselves. When I first got started, I was just going at 100 miles per hour, trying to get as much as I could in as short a space of time as I could, consuming, but it took a toll on me. I lost a lot of weight. It really worked on me for over a period of time. So I wouldn't suggest that you go that route. Pace yourself. Put in the time that's necessary, but at the same time, recognize when it's time to pull back and start to pull back, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're just mentally completely stressed out and you're losing yourself. Keep things in front of you, and then you can keep moving forward. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, check out my free 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. I'll leave a link in the description. It's a 5-video series, and it gives you a look into the freight broker business. You get to watch over my shoulder as I talk to shippers, talk to carriers. That way you can see how the business works before you decide to come into it. And if you want to know how we get customers, how we go about getting the customers that we work with on a day in and day out basis, I'll also leave you a free video to check out as well. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.